A very, very good evening. This is Arunava Chaudhuri. You are live on my YouTube channel, Arunfoot. Sorry, I'm over an hour late. Again, I was on the road today and yeah, got stuck in traffic. Um, Reoccurring theme. Sorry, I couldn't get back early enough. And this is, so to say, the wintertime problem because instead of a 3.5 hour time difference, we have in the winter a 4.5 time difference because summertime ends in Europe, and therefore instead of 6:15 p.m. normally, which is 9:45 in India, in the summers it is 5:15. So sorry for that once again, and let's get back, um, and that is it. Yes, sorry. Um, the only thing that I can say. Um, Again, as much as I love to do our conversations and our talks, um, my sports management work here in this part of the world at the moment with meetings takes precedent. But again, I try to be back on time, but it doesn't always work. Right, let's speak about what is coming up in the next couple of days. Of course, it is on one side um, the fact that India under 17s tomorrow take on Chinese Taipei. The early kickoff is between Iran and Lebanon, and that will give us most probably um, a sort of sign where this group potentially is heading because Lebanon drew Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei was thrashed 5-0 by Iran, but Lebanon drew Palestine 1-1, and Palestine drew 1-1 against India. So maybe we will get to know and understand where we stand in that, and other things. Konnichiwa, Goku, welcome back. And tomorrow, then the late kickoff, so to say, your Indian time will be Al Zafra versus FC Goa in the AFC Champions League 2. So tomorrow, for the first time, what I'm going to try to do, and um, do a double watch along, so to say. Uh, uh, so therefore, for me, first India Chinese Taipei, and then we switch over to Al Zafra versus FC Goa. So most probably a little over 4 hour live watch along. So therefore, let's see what we can do. Is PL, can you do anything on Supreme Court to allow OCPO player, or simply Supreme Court ask government to look into matter? I don't. Um, yeah, you can do a PIL. Anyone can do a PIL. Um, Public interest litigation, be it the Supreme Court, be it High Court. Um, so the point is, if I look at the situation, um, the Supreme Court can, as you say, can ask the government to look into the matter, but nothing more, nothing less. It cannot force the government. Um, so therefore, it is like the National Sports Governance Bill or Act, which is it now, where the government is saying um, that they are uh, going to interact with the diaspora. Very vague, could be anything and everything. Uh, uh, so therefore, for me, you can do it, but yeah. Oh, never seen you late, Ananda. In fact, you early, you in AIFF now or something. No, Aditya, stuck in traffic, even happens in Germany. And I try and keep my timings with you guys, but again, sometimes the reality of yeah of traffic. Then other texted you there, help me through. I will try, Nishant. Let me see if I can. I think government is not serious about USA player. Only before we will host Olympics, they will allow. Let's see what that Olympic process is. Yes, that's the point, and let's wait and see what are the next steps and where we end up with that. Now, why did Indian women's team face visa issue? I don't know why they faced visa issues, but they faced visa issues. Again, to have an Indian passport and then to be in that large of a group for certain countries or large parts of the world is not easy. And there are certain timelines. And I don't know if the AIFF is or has always been very, very late. Yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Dada, have you played football? Did you ever wish to be a professional footballer? If yes, then why didn't it happen? Kuku, yes, I've played football, but I've played at a bad level of football, as I jokingly always say. And did I wish to be a pro footballer? Yeah, I did have at at a certain age the idea that maybe, but I was just not good enough, right? And so therefore, I always had an interest in media writing, you know, and yeah, so that's that. So BCCI should take over Indian football and disband the AIFF completely. What do you think? You can't disband the AIFF, and why should the BCCI take over Indian football? What is the interest of the BCCI to take over Indian football? Aren't we in this situation maybe because of the BCCI? Look at this the other way around. If any other sport is a competitor to cricket and it eats into cricket's money in regard to broadcast and sponsorship, shouldn't cricket be working towards ensuring that its interests are taken care of? Look at it from the other side. The BCCI has no interest. Why should BCCI grow Indian football? Right? All of those people are saying, "Oh, BCCI should come forward." It again, there are so many. It hurts to think that what people are putting out into the public domains at the moment, right, as ideas. Sorry, it is. We are in a situation where we need help at all on all fronts, but the help needs to be in a way that we can move forward with Indian football. Any update on women's friendly? There are no women's friendly, Nishant, as far as I know. Maybe they'll try and do something in Asia, but the Europe trip, as it seemed to be North Macedonia, I think Kosovo was another one, seems to have fallen through. And why would BCS do that, considering that they helped AIFF back in 2000 and never got their money back? Aditya, that was a one-off, and it wasn't intended as something big. They also had other sports as well. And that was like, hey, listen, you know what? Hey, let me give you a little bit of money here. Take it, right? That was about goodwill with the government. It was never intended as a real support to the sporting federations. Yes, Supreme Court can't force, only can suggest to government to look into the matter. Yeah, and they won't. Well, BCS cricket board, they should stick to cricket, only that it. Yeah, agree. Don't have AIFF Babus, just take over completely, create a BCFI football subsidiary, something, anything. It doesn't work that way, right? The BCFI, whatever idea, sorry. To me, makes no sense. It might be, uh, um, you know, to me is, yeah, makes no sense to get the cricket. Mera and Court as Cups as proxy of FSTL. What's your opinion? Rubbish. The clubs are fighting for themselves, right? At the moment, FSTL is not there. This whole conspiracy that certain people have, oh, FSDL is orchestrating this, FSDL is doing that, oh, this is happening, that is happening. I really, certain people seriously have paranoia issues, serious issues, right? So therefore, for me, no. And that's the Supreme Court of India. If they knew their stuff, the bench would have asked, how do you come to this conclusion? Why are you saying this? That would be my question. And is there an answer to it? No, there's no answer to it, right? So therefore, for me, I don't know. I don't know how we've gotten to this stage. Women's will play 2 friendly matches. Dubai against whom? Nishant, as I said, they might be doing matches in Asia, but nothing I've heard. Maybe they might even play club sides. I don't know at the moment. Nothing confirmed. Can possibly AIFF get banned and new board formed to control the football judiciary? Yes, it will happen. FIFA will ban us again. Judiciary, again, if the judiciary disbands the AIFF or removes the AIFF leadership, it would call on a ban. Yes. Or even, they did it, right? In 2022, they removed the AIFF. They then put in the court-appointed administrators. They messed it up even more. I warned FIFA will step in. There's a ban possible. All these gentlemen said no again, and we got banned. Thank you very much. So therefore, and this is, I don't know if this is, um, yeah. Then an update on David tomorrow. Nishant, as far as I know, it was a two-match ban, right? So if that is the case, then he's not playing tomorrow. But again, maybe FC Goa, I know, did put a plea request in with the AFC. I don't know if that has worked or not, but if I'm right, then he would be out. Is I think possible we will get banned from FIFA. Yeah, again, that's why it's not. It is possible, but again, it will not work. If the Supreme Court wanted to remove the AIFF, they would have done it by now. Please tell something about Azaf Radha. Nishant used to be the Air Force Club, right? Um, so therefore, they are the most successful team in Iraq. Looking at the squad, yeah, mainly Iraqis. They've got Clarence Bitang is one of them who played in the match in Goa, who is from Cameroon. Nishal Rashdan and where were the other one? Razik Bani Hani. Those two were also there from Jordan and Madi Al Humaydan. So therefore, again, one African and three players from the Gulf and one in Goa. The return fixture they had won in Goa, so therefore that's advantage for them. Azafra had won 2-0 in Goa, and yeah, surely going into that match tomorrow as favourites. BCFI like Crickfoot for a new game. Interesting. Now, I think, Simon, the idea is to have the board of control of football in India. So BCFI would be, I think that's the idea. No ISL I League this season. It's going to be interesting when the clubs terminate the contracts of the players because it's too late to come out of this agony. Shivam, I think if the clubs realize that nothing will happen, I think that they will use the force majeure. Um, uh, um, by the end of December. I think that's the realistic timelines of how and when um, the clubs will react to that fact. Because I've seen some clubs actually signing players, which I find crazy to at the moment think, why would I sign a player, be it I League, be it ISL, and just think about, hey, listen, rather keep whatever I have as my flock, and then think about potentially, yeah, if something happens, I can still sign players in Jan. Yeah, yeah. You know, uh, uh, so therefore, yeah, that's the thing. Well, even if the BC handed the AFF 1,000 crore, I'm sure to get just spent on tea and biscuits instead of growing football priorities, right? Goku, no. Your tea and biscuit thing, your tea and biscuits thing has become actually much less. There's a certain section who always talks about this tea and biscuit stuff. You know what? With online meetings and other things, the AFF is physically meeting much less. And even if the AFF had 1,000 crores to spend, I don't think it would be spent on tea and biscuits. It would be spent on other things. Would it be spent on football? That's a different question. But this whole tea and biscuit wala thing is another, paranoia thing of people. Again, I think that there is um, the need and requirement of the AFF to meet more often, face to face, and talk honestly with each other. If I look at the little that I've heard about what happened yesterday, it looks like nobody actually took the lead and said, guys, this is not going right. We need to do something. And then when they put it up to the vote, the IFA and the Goa FA said, oh, you know what? I think we should ask, a review from the Supreme Court. And Odisha said, oh, you know what? We need more time to decide on it. And then, yeah. And then what happened? 24 state associations said, okay, take it. Now, will Apuya ever play football again if the league stops? Shivam, why shouldn't he play? Worst case, he'll go back to Mizoram and play Mizoram Premier League, right? So there is still space for these guys. Did FSL actually comment anything about the people who demean and badmouth them in intent? No. Does Reliance react to anything that is said about them? Right. So uh, That's the way that FSDL, that Reliance handles matters, right? I sometimes think it's wrong. I think once in a while they should have come out and made a statement on these things, but that is not the way they operate and react. But if you ask me, that's the way Reliance handle things. Right, already more than 60 minutes. Quick reminder, as I do every day, if you're liking the conversation, do please leave a like behind. 8 likes so far. Share this live so maybe other people, more people can join in. And we are at 3,800, sorry, 3,482. Sorry, not 800. 800 would be closer to 4,000 mark. 3,482. We're growing nicely. Thanks a lot. And as always, I also like to say, watch the short videos, which I try and do on a daily basis. Did today something in the morning about the new constitution, yesterday about will the ISL happen. Yeah, and other things. And guys, thanks as always for your support. Rahul Mehra and Ranjit Bajaj actually responsible for this ISL situation. FSL was the one who supported always. Ranjit can sell phone to as right now where he is Instagram real versus reality. Listen, a lot of people have said a lot of things, and I've always said, uh, you know, you know, and yeah, let's see what happens. But it's sad. It's sad. Uh, that we are where we are, and these gentlemen are still allowed to say what they're allowed to say. That no one is actually taking them to task for their statements, right? Because they've been lying, right? If FSL doesn't happen, ISL doesn't happen, no one will play football. Forget Apu or anything. Yeah, Aditya, for the moment, yes. Also heard ID clubs to form ISL 2.0. Supposedly, there is a lot of things happening. I don't know, guys. Be careful with all these rumors. Do not believe these people. Always treat, for most people, their comments skeptically. Even if you want mine, treat it with skepticism and think about, does A, does B, does C, does D, does all of this make sense? Right? So that's the thing. And Aditya, that's what I'm saying. You guys, you heard. Aditya, do not believe everything that is out there, especially on X, especially on Instagram. Even if these people tell you that, supposedly these people said, we will get money in from broadcasters. I League, 3 years, 4 years ago. Where was that? Last season, I League clubs paid for the broadcast on Sony, right? Dada, FC Goa can produce result tomorrow if they will able to play good football. Nishant, I don't know, right? FC Goa haven't played since earlier this month in the Super Cup. Sorry, late last month in the Super Cup. And they're not in this thing. And there was this comment today from Manolo Marquez. Wait 1 second. Where was the comment? 1 second. Let me find that Manolo Marquez comment. Manolo said something. I'm not finding it. Manolo said something like, "Is for us, it's the idea has to be that we recognize and realize what we can do, what we can't." And the thing for me is, Nishant, again, to expect something. It could be FC Goa, it could be any Indian club. It doesn't matter. In the situation we are in, I'm expecting nothing. Eric says, brother, this is not Surya Putra Dhanvir Karna who will give 1,000 crore. It was just in theory. It was not in reality. After this, my little hopes for the women's team, at least competing at the biggest stage, is gone. Practically, it was long gone. Yes, but for me, it's gone now completely. Simon, I said that once they qualify, that the AIFF, um, the AIFF, are the AIFF going to do what is needed? And look at their plans, and yeah, they don't have a plan because they don't have the money. I've heard from people, oh, AIFF money, they should do ISL, they should I League. No, they don't. What is BCFI? Shivam, there's nothing. It's someone who in this chat, put out an idea that the BCCI should take over the running of football. AIFF should be disbanded, and the BCFI should be created to run football in India. What will happen if ISL doesn't happen? Is club to have right to dominate all contracts, coaching staff, etc.? Yes, they have. Force majeure, kicks in, and then they can terminate contracts. And therefore, yeah, things need to happen in the next week or two. Um, let's wait and see. I feel AIFF knew that they couldn't support women's trip to Macedonia, so they intentionally became late, Latif, and did the shit show. Aditya, I had I had the same thought, to be very honest. That you know, um, and then yeah, we're still waiting, but it's a problem, right? It's a problem, and it's yeah. Team selections will also be dubious, and Crispin is going to have bloods on his hands. I just hope the girls are able to keep the score lines respectful. Simon, yeah, Crispin is in a grave situation. Yeah, and that's the again, that's very difficult because I think Crispin is in a situation um, which makes it very tricky for him and for everyone involved. But to me, the big question is, do we realize where we stand? And looking at the way, for example, East Bengal played the other day against Nasaf, right? My thought at the end of the day was, after watching the game, and we were out in the 90th minute, I thought actually was good because I don't want East Bengal to face Tokyo Verde or Melbourne City. It would have been a massacre, right? If you look at if they are not able to play against Nasaf, how do you think that we'll play against teams who are at least 2-3 classes above Nasaf? The other Mumbai City FC trying to sign US League player. Is that Chromat is correct or not? Nishan, Mumbai City is trying to sign no one at the moment, right? There is no league. Why would they sign a player? Hey Abhishek, what's the update on handball project? Abhishek, we are on it. Sadly, uh, uh, the things as are in India sadly take longer. So I would have liked to have gotten things done over the summer and started, but we're still working on it. Hopefully, early next year things will kick off. I've noticed that some departmental teams like the Thai police team in Thailand and Air Force Club in Iraq have transitioned to professional football clubs. How can Indian football department do that? I guess a football team follow similar paths to become a club. Are there specific procedures to transform it to a registered club, or can a department team be privatized? I've seen some departmental clubs. Where is it? Um, yes, it can. You've had a few across Asia who've done it, but you have to then become into private entities. And for example, in India, Air India, ONGC, HAL, to name a few, declined that, and that's when when the whole club licensing process came in, all these clubs had to move out. Has Tasin Mohammed been selected for the Qatar national team? It's big news from just 19 Wonder Kid making. Simon, he's been around for the last 2 years, so Wonder Kid making or not, we'll have to see. But he's in a very young age. He's been given a chance. Any update on Monroe? No, Nishant, nothing. Nothing at the moment. Give him a handball project you're working on. I can't give information publicly at the moment. We're working on something, and when there is something to announce, I will announce it. When is SAF happening, means only sometime next year. Don't ask me when, but sometime next year. Who, according to you, are the sources one should follow as an Indian football fan? So, Simon, if you start like that, I would say at the moment none, because everyone is speculating. The problem is, even the ones where you would have said or I would have said, yeah, you can be trust these guys. I know from the inside scoop that all are speculating. Even the biggest names in Indian football are speculating at the moment in the media or in the social media or in the content creator space, right? And I have to be honest to you guys, as always, I've said it multiple times, and I don't hit out with all the information that I potentially have because people trust me with information. Even I am trying to influence things in a positive and good way. So therefore, you know, I'll not be able to share everything because then that would jeopardize those things. But again, at the moment, very difficult. Normally, I would say, listen, you can trust K now, you can trust Marcus, you can trust that is Times of India, you can trust Dhiman Sakar of the Hindustan Times, and then it slowly gets a little difficult. Time of FC Goa match, 9:30 p.m. So tomorrow, 7:30, India versus Chinese Taipei in the AFC Under 17 Asian Cup qualifiers. I'll be doing a watch along, and then directly after that, it is going to be Azafra versus FC Goa in the AFC Champions League. Way India sleep, we need OCA players. Yeah, Kujit, 100%. But for that, the government needs to wake up. For that, the government needs to do its part. So let's see. Calcutta League is still relevant. Wasn't it the pinnacle of Indian football in the 90s? Or is it people in Bengal will tell you it was the pinnacle of Indian football in the 90s. Others will tell you, oh, Durand Cup, IFF Shield, Rovers Cup were the pinnacle. Is it relevant? Yeah, it's still, it is there, but it's not as relevant as maybe as it was when there was no national level football. Despite losing all the four matches played, FC Goa still has a chance to qualify or finish in second. If FC Goa win its remaining two matches and Al Nassr defeat the other two teams, then three teams will have 6 points. Yeah, that's from the start. In this group, FC Goa getting points, and no, sorry, not happening. As much as I like to be positive, but that's not happening. What to expect from under 17 Dada tomorrow? Nishant, a win, and if possible, better football. But I take the win first, and then better football we can talk about in the future. Goku says to Simon Qatar, I said he is already representing Qatar, no chance he will play for India. FIFA, I think, more probably not allowed. He's already a Qatari. He will never be allowed to play for India. He's done. I summoned the team and told players we have two options. One, to have pity about a situation you have no control, and the other is to build a strong group, compete well, and arrive in the best condition for every game. Yeah, that was the quote. Thanks, Simon, as I was looking for. Yeah, and I feel that those are the right words for Manolo to find. And the question is, can the team fulfill that? Right? That's the question and the challenge. Wasn't Haiti legend Sonny Nodi a Mohun Bagan player? They overtook India. Yeah, Sonny Nodi. Yeah. Is he a Haiti legend? I think he's more a Mohun Bagan legend than he's a Haiti legend. He's a Haiti, Haitian, I think they say to them. Uh, you know, let's see. Can't India have Palestine, San Marino, Faroe Islands, and SAF? Why, Orijit? Palestine, possible. Faroe Islands, San Marino, never. And Faroe Islands at the moment, if you see the World Cup qualifiers, I think the Faroe Islands would beat us. To be honest, BCI was also being trolled from last 2-3 days due to poor test performance by on soil. Nishant, yeah. India versus Bangladesh try match football series could be great now. Why? We just played a qualifier. Is Khelo India program game changer for every sport? If better coach, more university, better broadcast, etc. Khelo India inter-university games. I don't rate the Khelo India games because I think the structure is wrong. The focus is wrong. The structure is wrong, in my opinion. Yes, who wouldn't aspire academy over the National Excellence Training Center any day? Do you think South Africa will replicate their cricket success in FIFA World Cup? I wouldn't know what the success in cricket is, Origin, so therefore I couldn't compare. Dada, why Kerala is too good in futsal? Because Nishant, the Malayalis, the Keralites are good technically, good footballers. India's always been bad in tests. It's just that the increase in journalism in cricket has caused this situation, nothing else. Okay. Who cares about cricket? I don't. Gimcheon, some new army team for South Korea, and they won the K League last year, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, there are teams. But again, the teams have changed their form of operating and have become entities. I think school sports should be formed to conduct inter-school games all over India in different zones, etc. Every CBSE, every government school, Japan school, grassroots is GOAT. Yeah, but again, you're comparing yourself to Japan. And school sports, yes, but again, how national level? Why national level? I think these kind of things, school sports, hyper local. Which teams would you classify as chaos merchants and dark horses, and those who are happy to be here amongst new FIFA teams? See, the biggest of the dark horse, I think, will be Norway with Erling Haaland, Martin Odegaard. So that would be the team I would think, if you ask me. And others, we'll have to wait and see, right? The usual suspects, I guess, Spain, France, Argentina, England, Germany. Yeah, let's wait and see. Al Zafra's 2-0 FC Goa, fifth loss in the making for Goa, says Simon. Let's see. Let's hope tomorrow FC Goa will win, says Aman. Why did Ryan Williams choose India? Wouldn't opting for Fiji or Solomon has given better opportunity? India would never make it from Asia, but OC players, it's up for grabs. Orijit, where does he have Fiji or Solomon Islands ancestry that he can play for those? He has a mother who is born in India and a grandfather who used to play football in Mumbai and played for the Maharashtra Santosh Trophy team. You can't just say, hey, listen, I want to play for XYZ because they might play the World Cup. There needs to be a link, no? There needs to be a connection, right? Dada, Brandon Kena is definitely going to get some eyes on him from the Scottish League or the outside top 5 league with the consistent performance. Let's see. Let's see. There are quite a few of those. Duckett's doesn't came a long way since. Good to see him captaining Haiti for the first World Cup in 52 years. Yeah, come a long, long way. Sir Nodi did great job with Sir Falan in Mumbai City FC. Yeah, he did. The other Sundays back, I was checking Wolves U18 batch, and one boy felt Indian though facial structures, but he was with an English name, Mason Stevens. Just found out yesterday he's of Indian origin. Yeah, Shivam, there's quite a few. If the homework was done, so let's see. I'm hearing about Kerala futsal for the first time, says Goku as answer to Nishant. Says I'm from Kerala. I didn't know about it because I haven't heard about futsal in Kerala, so that's why I'm asking. Okay. Brandon Kela, Keelan Vickers, Sai Dave, Jivan Badwal, Arjun Raiki. Imagine all of them were integrated in under 23s on a dream we can imagine in FIFA. You must know about it, brother, because from there only we're seeing dribblers like Sahal, Ayman, Rush, and Suhail Ashik. But it's not from futsal, Nishant. They're not coming from futsal. I don't know where you got that info. Shivam says, Dada, Jivan might make it to Canada World Cup squad next year. He's going to represent them with such performance. Yeah, Shivam. He's with the Vancouver Whitecaps playing over there. Let's see. Just can't believe the draw for the World Cup just only a week away. 5th December it is. Yes, it is on the 5th of December. Next week, Friday, is the draw. Hey, Shaggy, I saw a video you made today regarding the AIFF's adoption of the new clauses. I have not seen a clause for re-election. There is a backdoor if re-election is possible. Shaggy, it is theoretically possible, but you know what? It makes there are certain people who might be eligible if the whole thing stays as it is, but I'm losing time, right? If I'm putting in people, taking them out, putting them in back again, does it make sense, right? And I need some level of continuity. Yeah, so therefore I let's see. Can't Asian Federation look into having champions of SAF, ASEAN, CAF, other federation qualify World Cup, Asian Cup, etc. Otherwise, once there's no SAF, then why? What is it? What is the logic in that? Yeah, right. Makes no sense. The reasons are there. It's not only for clubs or for nations to play in the region, right? The Petronas news was fake after all. Regardless, I hope they get their league sorted. A lot of historic clubs like Abahani, Mohammedan. Yeah, Abahani, Krida Chokro, Mohammedan Sporting Dhaka. Yeah, to Simon, very true. India's even worse in futsal. At least India have a FIFA ranked futsal. India won't even have a rank in futsal. Okay. What are the clauses included in the new constitution? Anav, there are. Read the whole constitution. Again, I'm not going to run down the whole constitution for you here. Go through. It is available on the AIFF website. There are a lot of clauses. There is a lot of things that have been added to the whole document. When did government be responsible to what the Supreme Court regarding ISIL conduct? Let's wait and see what comes out. If in 2 weeks 1 week is nearly done, if the government can actually intervene in any way, we'll have to wait and see. What's the new constitution? How will it help Indian football? Orijit, the new constitution is being created by the Supreme Court of India. Will it help Indian football? No. Just watch the short video that I did earlier today. New constitution adopted, and is this the end of the matter? I asked the question. Have a look at the videos. Futsal had started right now in India, my brother says Nishant. Yeah. Hey, Uchut, what about ex-Youth India captain Shovik Das playing in Borussia 1920? Must be lower reserve side. He's playing in the 13th division in Berlin. I think 12th or 13th division. So, Uchut, yeah, he's gone there to learn, right? These players don't have futsal background. One player you mentioned about is from Tamil Nadu and is more of a freestyle and futsal player. Kerala is beach football. They are great. I know about that. Okay, Goku. Pakistan signed up Fateme Sharif. She's a top level women's futsal coach. Smart move together. Yeah, yeah, that is smart. Dada, when will be the next hearing and when where to watch it live? Nishant, next hearing will most probably happen next Thursday or Friday. Where to watch it live? There is go to the page which shows you Supreme Court, and then you have the X live streams on that, and then you have to figure out on which channel, which courtroom, and then from there which channel it is going to be shown. Right, more than 37 minutes. Quick reminder: if you're liking the conversation, if you're liking what we're talking about, do leave a like, share, and subscription behind. 13 likes so far. If you're new and you're liking the conversation, want to join the conversation, do subscribe to the channel. Then also ask your questions or make your observations. 3,483 is at the moment where we are. So we're closing in on the 3,500 mark. Hopefully we'll cross that tomorrow. And yeah, and thanks as always. And watch the short videos again. I did something on the Constitution today. Yesterday I did something on the if the ISL season will happen or not. And yeah, do watch it. And as always, thanks hype as well. Ultimately, it's not action speaking over words, rather quite the opposite. Football never runs on pen and paper, but who would understand here? Simon, very well said. Dada, Coach Alexander done great job. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Both with the under 17s and under 20 women, yes. AIFF clause, so one person represents the state association and the exco election is if selected, each has to vacate the state post. Very interesting. Yeah, Ocho, that's the plan, that's the idea. Again, that is something which exists nowhere in the world, you know. Uh, and so therefore there's certain how do I get the connect between my national level, my state level, and then either city or district level? That's the simple connection that one needs to create, right? And that you will not is uh, um, that has not been understood. So yeah, do you think it's the players or Khalid Jamil who's responsible for such poor performances, or is it first of all Khalid because he's the coach, but also to some extent the players as well? So it's not a as simple it is your fault, it is his fault, or it is at the end of it, it's a collective failure. Is Brian Killer great quality, very good goal banger in last match? Yes. How's he managing both teams, Dada? Nishan, these both the camps are happening in parallel, so therefore they are they are um, speaking with each. They are practicing in parallel, and yeah, so therefore that's how it's happening. What is the current state of grassroots football in India? Will the country ever invest seriously in grassroots development and the people working at that level? Kalash, the state is not good because we're not producing the right players, and uh, so therefore, for me, more investment needs to happen. But we need to have better coaches, we need to have better competitions, and we need to have better scouting. Without that, nothing will happen. If you were at the helm, would you curtail powers of clubs? What other steps would be important to make India a decent team without OCI? Why should I curtail the power of the clubs? I don't know why. Why should I curtail the power of the clubs and make India a decent team? OCI is the topic that what I would push. So therefore, don't take that out. The other is Solanki. No, he is not Indian. Grassroots zero in India. That's it. Yeah, the state affairs themselves drive the election process. We know how they run too. No wonder we're in a constant cycle. Yeah, but Simon, if you take that out, you make the AIFF an independent body of what is happening in the rest of the country, and that it's that connectivity, which might be a problem, as you are saying, is then non-existent. Suddenly saw some videos of an Indian origin U9 kid signing up for Everton Academy. Which was nice. I think we've seen some of these. Chelsea used to do that, right? And let's not get into that. That's what happens if you have a foreign coach with the wealth of experience understanding football. Disputes have a cultural gap. Instead of him, it was an Indian coach. That will happen. I can even imagine what will happen in reality. It will be brutal than that. Yeah. Dada, Sir Khalid must give that last qualifier to you 23 boys as it is. McCoy is just friendly. Nishant, why? Again, this is illogical. Um, because to me, and I've said this, um, we'll have to find solutions which are mid to long term. But again, he is looking at short to mid term, right? So under 23s are not ready. What from what I've seen, they're not ready for this level, and therefore we are in the situation we are in. Last year, one signed for Liverpool under nines two, says Shivam as answer to Uchut. Is that 1911 victory overhyped? Were the British side even professional? Originally, the British were not even a side, they were army men. It was not a football team. And in my opinion, yes, it is overhyped. I think the 1911 victory of Mohun Bagan is more important for India's independence struggle than for Indian football. So, yeah, I know. A lot of Mohun Bagan people will not like that, but that's I've said that, and I believe in that, and I stick to that. And again, it's sad reality, in my opinion. But yeah, we are there, right? So uh, not easy, but that's the reality of things. Is Khalid can be sacked next year if you produce bad result? Theoretically, yes, but who's going to pay it? You know, and but he could have been sacked. Even he should have never been appointed. I think that's the main thing, right? So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Any idea why women's national team Europe tour was cancelled with just 3 months away from the Asian Cup? Uchut, because there was an issue with visas. Surely there was an issue with visas. Um, but is that the real reason? We don't. Again, we don't get the infos these days. Bikash is the only one I would take. Perhaps Panve too for depth. Simon Bikash, 100%. I've said this. He's the key player in my opinion in the under 23s. But Panveer, even his own club coach didn't play him, right? Even though he played two Indian centre backs, or two Indian defensive players, one centre back, one left back, and Paramveer was not one of them. So at, let him play. He needs to play, and therefore I would rather push him to the under 23s and give him game time. What kind of coaching are given to young players at the developing stage? You may expect that these players will play in division. Indian coaches nurturing players are never bad. Kuku, again, at some stage you need to start. And at the moment, it's not good enough. It needs to be better. Dada, AFC has banned Monman for how many years? Nishant, at the moment, they haven't been banned yet. That meeting is still to happen. Vikas, both good. Might as well give Sana some minutes. Jingan's time is up for me. Yeah, Sana, surely should be thought about. The state affairs have done little to nothing when it comes to grassroots football, scouting, or even organizing meaningful competitions. Where is a 12-year-old who wants to play supposed to go? Under 13 league, Kailash. There is an under 13 league potentially, but again, you have to search. Is it the best? Is it right? No, it's a problem. But there are, if you're looking for something, you will find. And this is the other problem. A lot of people say, oh, there's nothing, right? Sham Thapa, Shubhata Paul, were they better than current football players? Why weren't India not able to beat Saudi Arabia, Iran, even Jopal Bajjo, or even or other players? Bad luck. We were not good enough. Sham Thapa, I can't say. I've never seen Sham Thapa play. Shubhato, yeah. Shubhato and Gurpreet, again, goalkeepers is, I think, not the position to discuss. We were never good enough to beat the others. Stephen should have appointed AFF Exco committee. Because Stephen will have experience of managing national team. Okay. Jigga is no one at that level. Looks like it. Looks like it. And that's going to be the question for Sandesh to answer, right? Can he pick out a good performance or not? That has seen a potential in Shumit Sham will become a decent player. difficult, right? Because um, it's. I thought he was not good enough in the last game that he played because he conceded those two penalties against Thailand, and to me, it shows that a little bit of lack of maturity, and he's young, right? So therefore, give him time. Is according to anyone in current football youth, anyone can select European top tier league? None that I've seen. Again, and I've not seen everybody, so therefore it's very difficult for me to judge. But the ones that I've seen, no. If it was not the striker plaguing us, now the goalkeeper, Cam, and wingers have taken a hit. I can't see any upcoming wingers, even of a Chante or Udanta prime. You've hit a point, Simon, which is very tricky and which a lot of people don't want to accept. I think without risking anything, you cannot achieve nothing in football. There are players who came up from bad conditions from an average in football, still they made up intent and mindset. Yeah, could be said. Still, state FA want dual post and system. So shameful to see that they haven't done their job, still expecting a lot, and few were opposing that point. Nishant, but where again? Who will sit now in the AIFF? People who are not connected to state football, ex-footballers who are connected to I don't know who or to what. Where is the connection? Simple question. Striker issue playing. Yeah, as you said, it's not striker. It is a playmaker. Next generation of wingers will be a topic again, even though they're saying, "Oh, the wingers are world class." Um, yeah. So we'll have to see. And goalkeepers, once Gurpreet is going to become a topic as well, right? I checked yesterday in Pakistan group. Yemen was in pot one. I mean, under 17. Okay, Yemen played World Cup, right? Oh, I think Yemen played the World Cup, under 17 World Cup, right? A few years back. One sec, let me just check that before I say something wrong. No, sorry, they didn't qualify. Sorry, they played. But they did play. Okay, they did play the quarterfinals. Oh, okay. In the last one. Okay, that makes them. Okay, that makes them. That's why they're there. Yeah, okay. Looks like Sandesh, Rahul Beke, Subhashi Bose, Liston, Ashik should stay away from national team. Sandesh has passed his prime. Yeah, but again, if you want to get rid of all of these players, I don't think Ashik Liston should be in that bracket. Even Rahul Beke most probably has a year to go still. Where are the others to replace them? And if you're going to get players in and then they suddenly lose 4, 5, 6 nil, then we have a different discussion, right? Goalkeeper was one of the spots where I was okayish, but now who after Group Singh Sandhu is the new question. Yeah, my hope is Ritik Tiwari. That is one keeper who has evolved and developed over the last year and a half. Otherwise, difficult discussion, right? Where are we? Where do we stand, right? Had Yemen played a World Cup? An interesting case. No, they haven't. I just checked. Yemen have not played an under 17 World Cup, but they have actually played a World Cup in 2003. They were runners up in 2002. That's where India got to the quarterfinals. They actually um, made it as runners up to the World Cup. I think, if I'm not wrong, one second. Uh, yeah, yeah. Nobody speaks of modern sporting clubs' Duran Cup victory. Only Mohun Bagan's 91 victory. Why? Origin, no clue. I would not be able to tell you why this they speak about this and they don't speak about something else. If country of 1.4 billion can't know their who is their main striker, sometime Lord Rahim, Lord Irfan, Lord Mahesh, Lord Ashik, etc. Yes, Ritik Tiwari have potential. Dada and U17. If you will top the group, then only you will go ahead. Is there any place for second place teams? No, not in this new format. Sal Punya also have great future. Boah, and there I have my doubts. Dada, what's your point of view on my suggestion? We have allowed three minimum OCR players in every asset team along with four foreign players. Hope we may created more Ryan Williams. RSK, you'll get a lot of OCIs as cheaper foreigners, so to say. But are you going to get quality for the national team? I don't think so. I It was tried in 2005. Uh, you know, uh, you know, they tried it with the PIOs. Arata was the only one worth mentioning. A lot of PIOs came who were sort of part-time footballers, and yeah. What are the criteria if points are same in a head-to-head first or goal difference? Head-to-head, if I'm not wrong. A young India 20 player like Sumit might be considered promising, but in a global context, your 20 player showing such a majority is in trouble because pro will be a bigger challenge for him. Goku, that's my point. That is what I said after the Thailand game. A lot of people are not going to be talking about it. Uh, that if your basics are not good, you can get to a certain level, but you will not get past that level and past that peak. And that is where we are struggling at the moment and where we will not move past. Because, in my opinion, that's the biggest problem that Indian football faces. That we are at a level um, and players coming through, they're hyped. That's the first problem. This hyping is a problem. And then what happens next? We will now use Williams as a centre forward. That's how it looks like. I don't think so. Are we using Ryan Williams as a striker? Is that the case? Not that Now, do you see in upcoming the Indian football generation some leadership mentality, at least the ability who could do it? Yeah, yeah. Roshan, if you ask me that way, yes. There are people in the current system, next generation also, but I think it's not about the next generation. The problem is that the current generation needs to run and do what is needed, right? So therefore, my thing is, what are we doing to push that? And at the moment, I think leaders need to step up, and where are those leaders, right? That's the whole point. Where are the leaders that can and that will take us forward, right? Indian football is in a very precarious state and very tricky. Sar is the worst. I would take Gurmeet and Nawaz over him. I had high hopes of Purba, but the way he fell off. Yeah, Shivam and Sam, what happened to Lachempa? Fall off or just a bad patch at the moment? It's a good question. Um, the question is if he peaked, right, at the right time for Mumbai City, and and then he's moved down to his normal level again. I have hopes from the Pendu still raw, but he's talented. He's only hope for Bengal at the moment. Let's see. Let's see. And Dipendo Bishash sliding tackling good to watch. Who is Sumit Sharma? Sumit Sharma is an 18-year-old centre back who plays for Kerala Blasters B and who's been part of the India under 23s. Where is Roy Krishna? Roy Krishna is playing in the Super League Kerala at the moment. Don't ask me for which team, but he signed for a team in the Super League Kerala. The bigger question is, do we have a next gen at all? Name me one. Simon, good question. I don't see anyone. Good question. No is the answer. Yeah. Even though doesn't have the composure and maturity of a modern day defender on the ball. And height is also an issue. Shivam. Hey, Stephen, welcome back. India has excellent goalkeepers, struggle to find other players. Why? Physique, technique. Punjabi rivals have good physique. I don't think it's physique, it's technique, it's the basics. Good goalkeepers, yes, but what is it? It's a problem that we're not finding the players that we need. Roy Krishna is Fiji, man. He's selected for Kerala Super League, I think so. Yeah, he's playing in the Kerala Super League. I think fans are forgetting about Mohamed Nawaz, a promising player. Now, no one is hearing about him. Goku, him. We spoke yesterday about Dhiraj. Uh, you know, So yeah, let's see. It's possibly going to snow in London tomorrow. Looking forward for Bayern versus Arsenal. Yes, 100%. Stephen, I wanted to be there tomorrow, but I can't. Would love to have traveled across to London to watch that game, but yeah, sadly cannot make it. Um, yeah, what else to say? Um, would love to have been there. I've been there a couple of times for Arsenal versus Bayern, but yeah, won't be able to make it. So hope Bayern do the necessary and finish off the job. And yeah, let's see. Let's see what Bayern do tomorrow. Krishna from Malappuram FC. Yes, thanks, Roshan. He's playing for Malappuram FC. Was Shubhat a ball playing goalkeeper or traditional one? Traditional one, Simon. Dada, when Modi and company think about India value like PM Modi's plan for India, Kalyan in football and Gambhir is on cricket. Oh my God, when you see Acha Din in life, Dada. Honestly, I don't know. Dada, who's David in East Bengal FC? David is a striker from the northeast. Ryan will be right winger, Chante will left winger, who will be a centre forward. Yeah, that's the question. Dada, where's Murtada Fall and Jahu? Murtada Fall, honestly, I don't know. Murtada and Jahu retired and now supposedly coaching a club back in Morocco. Nishant. Mohammad Amas' height is not in his advantage as a short stopper. He's definitely one of the best in the nation. Very true, and that is, uh, uh, um, so yeah, it's one of those where you say, could he have, should he have? Yeah. Out of curiosity, is Bengal Super League having a team featuring Shiliguri? Yes, they have. Roshan, let me just tell you 1 second. Um, so at the moment, we have Bardhaman Blasters from Bardhaman, Howrah Hooghly Warriors from Howrah, JHR Royal City from Malda, Kopa Tigers Birbhum from Bolpur. The team from Mednipur has no name. North 24 Parganas from Barasat also don't have a name. North Bengal United will play in Shiliguri. And the Sundarban Bengal Auto, um, yeah, will play in Canning, which is a little further out from Kolkata. And that's South 24 Parganas. So yeah, that's your teams. I thought Fiji would qualify. Thought Roy Krishna would be scoring goals in World Cup. Just one team, New Zealand. Are they that good? Can Fiji beat them? New Zealand are much better than Fiji. So yeah, Fiji's best players play in Europe. Which match are you going to watch tonight in UCL? Oh, I think City versus Leverkusen. Yeah, Man City versus Bayern will fear. Pranjal. Nama, Navas don't have height. That's most biggest problem in modern football. You want tall goalkeeper, 6 foot, 6'4". Yeah, you want, but Mohamed Nawaz is one of those. If you could, there are shorter goalkeepers who have been successful. So let's see. Yes, no updates regarding ISL yet. No, there is no update on the ISL. Nawaz was playing against Holland in Europe. Exposure to is it under 7? Yeah, under 16. They were playing against Norway. Does Super League Kerala help Kerala Stadium infra development? Not so far of me. I've not seen anything of that. I don't understand. Nagaland has a decent sports culture, stadiums, people ready to invest in, say, Naga Super League, but state league or even in the league via corporate entry. Nagaland doesn't have that much, Roshan. I don't know where you're getting this from. Nagaland used to have, so they had this muddy ground where they used to play in Dimapur. Yeah. So yeah. So therefore, um, but what you're doing, right? Even you, if you wanted to, you could invest in a team in Nagaland. Saurabh Saman, Nepali origin player for Arsenal Academy. Okay, Stephen. Saurabh Sampang. Okay. I'd love to see Real Kashmir C playing a match in the snow in Srinagar. It would be a treat to watch, but I haven't seen that kind of match take place. Of course they have. Goku, when was this? 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Real Kashmir played against, I don't even know who, in the I League, against someone in the snow. Dada, Gurmeet is good to in counter attack as well as closing on to the ball, in my opinion.
Yeah, he has potential. To be honest, none have saved more penalties than Albino Combs. Dada. Yeah, but that's not all for a keeper, no? Nishant. It's one of the things that a keeper needs to do. Um, Albino is one of those. Yeah. Where is Hugo Gomez, Dada? Nishant, he is back in Morocco. He's coaching a team. He's left active football. So Hugo Gomez no longer is a player. He's now a coach. I don't know if he's a head coach or an assistant, but he's gone back to um, Morocco and decided now playing is over. What is the difference between Anwar Ali senior and junior, the present day one? Interestingly, both are centre backs, right? Both are tall. I think the current Anwar Ali is more of a complete package than the old Anwar Ali. The old Anwar Ali was, I think, a bigger fighter, a bigger warrior. That would be the difference between these two, if you want to sort of know. I think Roshan would like to mention about Manipur. I hope in Meghalaya, Manipur, a better facility in Northeast and some facilities in Arunachal Pradesh. No, I think RSK was talking about Nagaland. Um, Meghalaya is building better facilities. They don't have it yet. Manipur have talent, but they don't really have the facilities. And Arunachal has to still build it. Chelsea versus Barca going to be a good game today. Yeah. Steven, I mean, if someone was in London today, watch Chelsea Barca today, and tomorrow could watch Arsenal Bayern. Could be worse. Mohnbagan and Real Kashmir in the snow, as much as I remember. Was it Mohnbagan? Yeah, I was not sure if it was Mohnbagan or if it was Gokulam Kerala. Uh, yeah, I think Gokulam Kerala also there was a match in the snow. But again, um, yeah, Sergio was Nishant. Not sure where Sergio is at the moment. I don't even know if Odisha FC exists at the moment, so therefore I can't tell you where Sergio is. I think I missed that. Yeah, Goku. There was at least one, if not maybe even two or three matches in the snow, so that did happen. You know, uh, so therefore that's that. Right, over an hour and 3+ minutes. Once more, the reminder: if you like the conversation, if you like what we're talking about, do leave a like behind, share it with other people, and 18 likes so far. Think we can do better, guys. We had 29 yesterday. And if you're new, you're listening, and 3,483 is where we stand at this moment. So 17 more to reach the 1,500 mark. And a reminder tomorrow, a watch along of both India under 17s versus Chinese Taipei at 7:30 p.m. And directly after that, Al Zafra versus FC Goa in the AFC Champions League 2. And if I'm crazy enough tomorrow, maybe I'll do an Arsenal versus Bayern watch along as well. So let me see. I'm thinking of doing watch alongs of European matches as well in the future. So let's see. Thinking about it. If there are no Indian football matches to talk about in the coming weeks and months, are those matches available on YouTube? Goku, there is still the AIFF, the Indian football official YouTube channel. Maybe go scroll through. Maybe you'll find something with snow. Dada, why USA don't used to play friendlies in Europe? Why do they have to play friendlies in Europe, Nishant? The US are preparing for the World Cup. They're hosting the World Cup. Why should they play in Europe? I don't get that point. How good are New Zealand compared to mid-table Asian teams like Oman, China, Thailand, Kyrgyzstan? Can India, Bangladesh compete or beat them? I think New Zealand are better than India and Bangladesh for sure. And I don't know, Kyrgyz, Thailand, China, Oman might be a problem for them. I think Anwar Jr. is probably the best ball playing defender we have got at the moment. Yeah, is Renedy Singh. Renedy is not a centre back. Renedy was a midfielder, and Renedy was technically much better than Anwar Ali or any of these players that we could speak about today. Dada, do you see any player moving about like to Nation League in Jan? Shivam, at the moment, I've not heard anything, and to me, and we'll have to wait and see. If nothing happens, we'll have to wait and see. Please reply me there. I will, Nishant. Surely New Zealand can't be unbeatable, right? Other OC teams aren't that bad, are they? They are. They are bad. They are playing in the World Cup next year, so you got your answer. Yeah, Simon, to some extent, but again, remember New Zealand 2010 got the better of Italy, right? When you know the next Asian Cup qualifier will be in 2026? No, 2027. 2026 will be the final round of the AFC under 23 Asian Cup next year. How good is Thai League 1 and 2? Good. Thai League 1 is better than the ISL, if you want that as an answer. Anwar long ball pass is good. Yes, yes or no. Mr. Renedy Singh in the current national team. Yeah, Renedy had a quality um, or had qualities which few of our players have. If I'm very honest, Renedy was a cut above the rest, right? So therefore, that's a very very important thing. Renedy was always better than the others, and it's a fact, right? So therefore, yeah, that's sorry. Um, so it's Renedy, yeah, great player. When I first saw the India vs New Zealand match, the score was 2-1. I thought to myself that our team was that good. It would have been impressive enough if we had even scored one goal against them. It was a good match. But after seeing it, I feel hurt and regret that it was only one goal that paid off. Okay. Sorry, confused Randy with Goramangi. Acha, you mean Goramangi? No. I would think that technically um, Anwar is better. Anwar will be better than Mangi, surely. Mangi is overall um, the package would have been better, but Anwar is has certain qualities which very few of our defenders have. Um, Acha, sorry. See you there. Yes, Nishan will. Ranjit Singh was also in race to become coach. No, as far as I know, as far as I know, Randy was not in the race to become India coach. We played the U20 lost thing that way. Yeah, Sam, exactly. Can Japan, USA, Korea beat European teams? Japan, Korea have beaten European teams, right? USA have beaten, so yes, they can, right? Dada, who was that Chelsea supporting staff member who had joined Indian football team? Acha, yeah, yeah, he was a Keralite. I forgot his name. Yeah, sorry. Yes, I think so. Japan can beat European teams. Exactly. Yes, Ranjit Singh was pretty humble. I remember listening to an interview with him during or after his time as CSK Sofia. Great guy. Again, I was also involved in that at the time to get Renedy over there, and it was great fun. I spent a weekend with him over there in Sofia. Um, seen train, seen play, but yeah. So great guy, one of my best friends. I have to add as well here, but yeah. Who will replace Sandesh sir with Anwar? Good question. I would hope Bikash Jungnam could be the replacement because I rate Bikash Jungnam. Let's see if he can do that. Can we see Japan, Morocco, USA, Colombia become champions? Some European, South American winners, more tournaments. Um, Origin in theory, yes, but I think it will be amongst the big nations. I don't see any of these countries winning the World Cup. Apu used to control midfield. That he got great experience in ACL. Yeah, Nishant. Apuya is at the moment our best midfielder. Period. That's according to me very very important. Vikas Sandesh Anwar has so many years. He's 25 currently. Hmm. I want that Japan Germany rematch, but both are pot one teams at the moment, so might not be possible. Italy maybe. Italy need to qualify. Let Italy qualify, beat Northern Ireland, and then face Bosnia or Wales. So yeah, Anwar Pamvir. Pamvir is not ready. The people again, to me, that boy needs time. Is not ready for that level of football. So give him time, let him mature, and then we'll have to wait and see what happens. If not Yunnan, then whom, Dada? Nishan, that's the question. I don't see anyone at the moment being capable of that position. And then if you want transition, maybe Sana would be someone who's a little older. What was the mentality of players in the 80s and 90s? How did they consider pursuing a career in a foreign league? Did they have the excuse that they didn't have enough money to play outside, or that foreign clubs were interested in signing up players? I honestly don't know what was the case in the 80s and 90s about this. I know that the Tata Football Academy used to come here in Germany and train here for 4 to 6 weeks in Cologne at the university. Um, and players did get offers. None of them ever signed a contract. So I don't know. How did you see Uzbekistan, Iraq, Jordan doing? Round of 16. Which round of 16? In the World Cup. Let, let them get to the Uzbekistan, Jordan are there. And none of them are. Let's see. I don't see any one of them causing any upsets. What's your take on Australia 17 World Cup final? Roshan, great story. Great story with a team of some nobodies. Yeah, one guy who's going to score you the goals. 8 goals in 7 matches. I forgot the guy's name. Um, who scored again yesterday against Italy, both the goals. And yeah, great story. Great story for Austria. Ralf Rangnick, someone who I highly admire as the head coach of the senior team. Uh, uh, so therefore, I don't know. It's just insane. And yeah, so Austria in the final against Portugal. Who would have thought that? I'm saying in future Pamir. He's not. The future is very far away for Pamir. Let him play. Let the boy play. Don't put pressure on him and say, "Oh, he's already ready. He has to play." Let him play. What Donnarumma must do the other so that Italy will qualify. Nishant, score goals. I don't think that Donnarumma is going to score goals, right? Would you say 2002 World Cup the best World Cup? No. 2002 was most probably one of the crappiest World Cups I've seen, right? So no, 2002 was not good quality. Um, and 2006 will for me always be special because it happened here in Germany and it was every day somewhere else. So 2006 will be some will always stay in my personal in my heart. Um, 2014, of course, Germany winning it. Also, so yeah, those would be my top World Cups. Yeah, Wales, Bosnia, definitely better than North Macedonia. Fabrizio needs to hold his temptation for that till March. Let's see, Simon. I'm first and top fan today. Congratulations. Marshall. No, not Marshall. Johannes Moser. Yeah, yeah, Johannes Moser, right? The boy from Red Bull Salzburg who's at the moment at Wiefering. Some people posting he carried the team. I would think so. 8 goals in 7 matches. And again, especially in the quarters and the semis. Um, yeah, Dependo needs more experience to be with Bikash. Dependo needs a lot of playing time. And that is a question that we'll have at Mohun Bagan. Will he, with those players ahead of him, and even now Mehtab Singh theoretically is ahead of him, I don't see him playing. Simon says, yeah, 2014, 2010, 2014 World Cup for me, my first two World Cups. Okay, Simon. Dependo let have play, brother, you have less height. It's not about height. It's about, again, not, you don't need to be the tallest. If you're good, you can do it, right? So the question for me is, can um, Dipendo play regularly, consistently, and improve? Hi, Utsav. Sir, you are OCI card holder, so you don't have Indian passport. Exactly. I'm a German passport holder and have an OCI. Right. Why Korea, Japan beat so many European teams and why China has disappeared? They were top Asian side, right? Was China not qualifying an upset? Originally, the Chinese have tried to build, have spent a lot of money. Why they haven't, I'm not an insider on Chinese football to be able to explain it to you. Korea and Japan have established themselves, their best players, so this thing. 8-year boy went to Everton training the other. Who is he? No idea. No idea. And again, let him play again. Why we're talking about 8-year-olds? China is like a country like what they will do if they don't want, they will not. Okay. Goku, but they want to do football, no? They haven't succeeded in football. Look at them. Look at the Qataris. All of these countries that have been trying to push football but have not been able to be successful in football. Right. So there is more than just spending money. So many of that England U7 have developed into world class talent, except Brewster. He was the biggest disappointment. Yeah, yeah, but that happens, right? There are a lot of players. Even if you look at him at the moment, Jadon Sancho is not doing too good for himself, right? Biggest disappointment. Yeah. Abhishek Tikcham was too good in Punjab, sir, but not on bench in Bangandada. And Nishant, again, he went for the money. If Shubhashish Bose is the number one left back at Mohun Bagan Supergiant, if Shubhashish Bose is the captain of Mohun Bagan Supergiant, if Shubhashish Bose is also a national team player, Abhishek Tikcham is the number two. And on the right, uh, you know, and theoretically Ashish Rai, we have now Mehtab Singh as well in there. Very difficult for him. Very, very difficult. What's going on? Nothing. No I League, nor I League 2 or 3 either. Akash, yeah. Um, yeah. No ISL, no I League, no I League 2, I League 3, no IWL, no IWL 2. Let's wait and see what happens. What happened to Jan Fiete Arp, ex Schalke talent? He wasn't a Schalke talent. He was a Hamburg talent who signed for Bayern Munich, didn't make the cut, was with Holstein Kiel, and now has signed in Denmark, as far as I remember. Few top OCI PAO, you know the other, please take their names. I know Danny Bath, I know Jan Danda, used to know or still know Vikash Doraso, Harmeet Singh, Shan Hundal, yeah. So, yeah, know some. China reached finals of Asia Cup, played World Cup. Qatar are back-to-back Asian Cup winners. They are successful football nations. Yeah, but again, international success. We're talking about not Asia, we're talking about international. And for China, China were the World Cup 2002. We're in 2025 and China will not play the 2026 World Cup. So it means before 2030. Yeah. So realities. Where is Shubho Paul, Dada? No idea. Nishant, to me, Shubho Paul came out of nowhere. I remember I saw him suddenly at Bayern during COVID for the World Squad. Didn't turn up. Next year he came in, couldn't do anything, went back. I saw him in the I League play for Sudeva Delhi. Actually didn't play bad. If he was 17, 18, supposedly at the time. I think he then later on signed for ATK Mohun Bagan B team. And since then I haven't heard anything of him. He had a massive social media following, but yeah. Hamburg, yeah, my bad. Yes, Simon, Hamburger SV. I don't understand why China has failed to dominate football sport. China is so dominant; they have better grassroots, more money. Many Chinese fans can only know what reason China is not good. Football is something which you have to work on a lot of fronts. Mm, but the Chinese, for whatever reasons, have never been able to build their football in a way to be, world leaders. That's the sad part for them, I would say. China have better stadium. Yeah, that's true. So Vignas still in Berlin. Yes, Roshan, but he's with a small team. I don't even know Kreisliga. I think Kreisliga B or C or D. So we're talking about very low division in Berlin. Is Akram Afif over to really the time? Simon, he's one of the best in Asia. So if you ask me that way, um, certainly there's been hype around him, no doubt about it. But he's a good one. Any update from AF regarding ISL? No, no, no. There is nothing of an update on the ISL. What has he done at Bayern? Nishant, he didn't do anything at Bayern. There was this FC Bayern World Squad, so where you could during COVID you could send in your video to try and showcase yourself, and they looked at players from around the world. It was Shubha Paul who got picked up as from India, couldn't go in the year because there were issues with visas and tests and this and that. Was invited the next year and couldn't sustain, and they sent him actually back sadly. So yeah, so therefore that's the story. So Kumar Tharu should have signed for small club rather 80K more game time. Most of the players could, no? But again, the money was too good. So Arsenal versus Bayern, got to say Bayern has the upper hand. Simon, I would say as well, because I think there's also psychology, and Arsenal in the many last few matches has conceded always 5 goals. I will remember, I think it was 2017, April 2017. I watched Arsenal versus Bayern in Pune with Arsenal fans. I think 400 Arsenal fans at 1 o'clock at night. And I said before, I jokingly said before the game, I said, "Hey, this is another game. Bayern's going to score five." And in the end, Bayern actually scored five. I was really embarrassed. And yeah, so but that's Bayern Munich for you, or Bayern München for us. China started a few years ago to develop school football. They will major hub in future with good population support as well. China is not a few years ago, Nishant. They've been doing school football for the last 30 years, right? China were more successful around the phase of the millennium. They had players in Europe. Look at Sun Jihai was at Man City. Du Wei was at Everton. Jiaji Shah was playing in the Bundesliga for Eintracht Frankfurt. They had their top players were playing top teams. They don't have that at the moment, right? So the Chinese have, and then of course COVID struck. That should not be forgotten, and the Chinese have not really moved forward. If I'm being honest with you, so they are where they are at the moment, right? Is Russia creating a World Cup of non-qualified teams? Orijit, I've read it like you and like the others. People asked me yesterday. I have no clue. They will see the drop of attendance and viewership if ISL or any whatever league happens, which are most of their aspirational supporters who want to see Mohanbagan AFC are gone. Who wanted to see Mohanbagan AFC, Akash? No one. Because no one thinks that Mohanbagan is a team to support at continental level. Sorry, Mohanbagan is the most failed team at continental level from an Indian perspective. So that there will be a drop, most probably, yes. But they have to work hard. Indians playing in Bundes and others, no, there are no Indians, Orijit. I say I got a little late. Hi, Swastik, welcome back. Most of the players are from poor families. Money is too big to ignore for them. Yeah, but Akash, if I look at my money in the short term and don't think about long term, so do I have to earn my money in 3 years or can I earn my money in 15 years? That is the problem that the players need to think about. Dada, are you going to go to USA to watch FIFA World Cup live? Which match you will love to match whom against whom? Nishant, I have no plans for the US at the moment, if you ask me that way. Thoughts on the BFL Petronas scam? Rustic, yeah. Um, yeah. Sad to hear, right? But the reality is. Honestly, where's the technical director? Has anybody really seen him? No. Yeah. 1-5 scoreline gives me that same vibe as the 2-8 for Barca. Damn it. Yeah. Indonesia has done better than China. Only in this cycle, right, Nishant? In this cycle, yes, but before that, no. We'll love to see more City FC at ASC level. Yeah, Nishant, I would love to. Good night, Simon. See you again. Moving fair team. They have Australian foreigners still. They can't even win. Okay. CR7 and LM10 still doing their things at that age. Goats for a reason. Yeah, Shwastik, but again, are they really the goats or is it a PR story of people over the last decade, so to say, that they are what they are because social media has exploded? Because you would have not spoken about players before that, right? And yeah, if no ISL and no I League happens, what would be possible scenario for next AFC season club competition? Roshan, there's a conversation on that to be happening between the AFF and the AFC because the Super Cup winner would most probably get a spot and then the other spot goes. So then the question is, um, we'll have to see. Simon says to edit crazy, you take crown for today. Congratulations to India as a poor and huge country need to have a national league. Isn't logistic cost is too much to overcome? Just a thought. No, I you need a national league. And I go back to what Sepp Blatter said 30 years ago when he came as secretary of FIFA, and he said, "Why don't you have a national league, national competition?" The problem is not the travel costs. Your problems are the salaries in across all divisions, right? If someone tells me that smaller teams in the CFL also are playing players and players are living off that money, then it is a problem, right? Portugal will face whom in U17 final? They will face sorry, um, they will face Austria in the final, Nishant. And who will be favorite? It's a 50-50. It's under 17, right? Indian or Chinese? Who are more to academics? Sorry, Goku. To me, um, if you ask me, I would say Indians, right? Good if it comes. Yes, 1 hour 27 minutes. And according to which state India has the best football culture? Northeast. In this whole, oh, they've got the best. They've got, I've always liked the Mizoram culture of football. I sadly have never been to Manipur, even though I've got very good Manipuri friends. Um, I wouldn't be able to tell you otherwise. Bengal has its own. Kerala is crazy about its football. Even the Goans are, even though they don't go and watch the top matches nowadays. Very difficult to say. To me, very very difficult. Right? Yes, Edit, take it the number one spot here in the chat. See you, Nishant, and I'll slowly also come towards the end of this live as we look forward. Once more, the reminder tomorrow: India versus Chinese Taipei in the AFC U17 Asian Cup qualifiers from Ahmedabad. 7:30 p.m. kickoff. So I'll be around 7:25. 7:25. I'll come online, and then after that, Al Zafra against FC Goa. I'll be doing that as well. So do watch, do join here this channel, and if you haven't, um, yeah, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share the videos, and the others also hype the videos. Need your support. Without your support, this channel cannot go. And yeah, need your help. And I'll take a few of the last one. Good night as well. In Maharashtra, Kolhapur is mad. Yeah, again for sure as well. Okay, so that's it, guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Good night and see you then.